What's up, everybody? Welcome to our video on how to customize your resume and fit a job description. Okay, so this is one of the most common things that my clients ask me for. I've had clients tell me that they can only apply to one job a week because they spend so much time customizing their resume to fit a job description, and then they put all this work into it, and they submit it. It goes into the black hole of the applicant tracking system, or LinkedIn, or Indeed, or whatever the heck portal they've applied to, and then crickets. They don't hear anything back. Maybe at best, 20 minutes later, they get an automatic rejection email, and then they go cry and eat a pint of ice cream if they're anything like me. So not ideal, especially when you put in all that work. So today I want to cover that hot topic of like how much are you supposed to be customizing this? Because we've all read the articles, we've all been told by a million people that it's important to customize because otherwise the sort of automatic tracking systems that review your resume won't even let you through that first gate, and then you get that automatic rejection. But it's so much effort, and that when you do it, sometimes you still get rejected anyways. So what are the best practices? So first things first, I want to say do not spend nearly that much time on any resume. Like there's a certain extent to which, especially if you're applying without a recommendation, if you're just sort of applying to a posting that you saw on Indeed or LinkedIn or something like that is a bit of a numbers game. You know what I mean? You want to be able to do more of those as opposed to putting out a perfect application. You want to put out a done application and get several of them out the door. So I don't want you to spend too much time customizing. A little bit of customization will help you because applicant tracking systems are a thing, and people do use keywords to filter to some extent. But I don't want you to put too much time and attention on it because I just don't think it's worth the return. So there are a couple of key things that I'll do to help you hit that sweet spot so that you can get the right amount of customization, but not so much customization that you use up all your free time, looking for a new job while you've still got your old job, or looking for a new job when you should be out enjoying this nice sunshine. One of those two. Okay, so what I want to talk to you guys about is one type of customization that I really do like, which is sort of customizing by job type. So you may be the kind of person who is not just applying to a single category of job. If you take me as an example, before I was a coach like I am now, I was a mining engineer. And so back in my past life, I spent time working for a mining software company, kind of doing education and consulting, and also all the behind the scenes things that have to happen in running a consulting company, working with my colleagues, generating business for us, work for us to do so we could all get paid. I did a lot of that work. When I was working on mine sites as a mining engineer, I also did a lot of highly technical design and strategic mine planning work. And another sort of category of work that I did both on mine sites and when I was working as a consultant at a software company is I did a lot of kind of business improvement type work, right? So for me, there were sort of three main categories or types of jobs that I could sell my skills in. I could sort of apply to mine sites for highly technical roles where the skill set I'd be selling was my ability to do technical design and scheduling work and stuff like that, strategic planning. There's another category where I'd be applying to consulting roles or other suppliers or software companies in the mining industry. And there I'd be selling my ability to connect with customers, my ability to learn a product and sell it, my ability to do business development, my ability to do expert technical consulting work that they could sell to their clients. That's sort of the set of skills that they were interested in. And then there was a third category altogether that was business improvement roles. So those could be both inside of the mining industry, helping to improve planning processes or interaction between, geology, mining engineering and survey departments, or even, the technical services team and maintenance or the mill or something like that. I could do those types of projects, or I could even have taken those skills outside of the mining industry and worked in the tech industry, especially with my software background, or I could have worked, any other number of places kind of working to do process improvement and, improve cost effectiveness, basically, right? So back when I was doing my job search, I had actually three different resumes. I had a resume that I would use when I was applying for technical work on mine sites. I had sort of a consulting resume that I'd use for consulting or suppliers or things like that. And then I had a business improvement resume. So when we talk about customizing a resume, what I would really love to see y'all do is if you have, like me, sort of different packages that you can offer, I'd like you to customize a specific resume for that package because then you can talk about, the same experience you did in slightly different ways, right? So the technical consulting work that I did when I was working at a consulting firm, if I was applying on a mine site, I would just talk about the technical aspects of that, right? If I was applying for, a consulting role, I might talk about both the technical aspects and some of the client service aspects of that work, right? So you would change how you would tell a story so that it fits the needs that they have. So when we talk about customization, that's actually the bulk of the customization I want you to do. I want you to have themed resumes for different types of roles. Then, once you've got that, we can get into sort of a more micro level of targeting that is what most people think of when they hear customizing a resume for a job posting. So that's that sort of matching keywords to what you see on the job description. Now, I think that can be helpful, but I want you to spend like max 10, 20 minutes on this, right? I want you to look and, if on the job posting it says mine design instead of open pit design, everywhere that it says open pit design on my resume, I'm going to change it to say mine design, right? Little simple things like that can be helpful and can help you get through these automated tracking systems. But again, that should be a small amount of customization on a resume that's largely already solid and largely already contains the kind of detail that a hiring manager would want to see. And this is about helping you get past the sort of technological barrier as opposed to get past a person barrier, if that makes sense. So the key for y'all, those of you who want to do customization, is those two pieces. One, broad customization to types of jobs, and then two, micro customization around specific keywords that you see in a job description. And the other thing I will say is, when you read a job description, you can sort of tell as you get through it, you can get a feeling for what's really important to them. You consider doing things like, if what they're looking for in a consulting role is really business development, or another consulting role might not be so hot on the business development, really hot on the technical work. Okay, so if it's really hot on the technical work, move all those bullet points up to the top of your resume, right? If it's the business development work, move all those bullet points up to the top of your resume. So like there's a lot of ways to sort of customize your resume without having to do a full rewrite. So take advantage of those and leave the rewriting in the past. Now, one last thing that I want to say to all of y'all is, do your best. The number one thing that you can do to help you get an interview is not really any of this customization at all. It's to talk to a real human being who works at that company, right? And so go reach out, work your connections, work your network, see if you can get an introduction, or if not, hell, do some cold outreach on LinkedIn. All of that is likely to be more helpful to you than an hour of customization. Spend an hour talking to a real human being. Because that's the best way to get through the ATS, right? It's not by getting exactly the right word so it's happy. It's by having the person who you met with, who liked you, who you had coffee with, go, hey, boss, you need to talk to this person and put it right in their box. So don't forget that the most important resume customization you can do is actually not resume customization at all. It's just talking to a real human being. Okay, friends, hope that's helpful to you. As you know, I help people with their resumes all the time. If you want to learn a little more about that, and if you want some help so that you're not just like, oh God, overwhelmed trying to get all this done, because I know it's writing your resume is one of the hardest things. Like even me, somebody who does it as a living and helps other people do it, if you made me write my own resume, it would take me 4 times as long. It's just a hard thing to do. So if you need any help with it, know that I can help you, and you can find out more information on our resume writing page at woodney.com. Okay, see you soon. Bye.